Hi guys, welcome back to the 401 Files. My name is Ben and I create content here, anything to do with UFOs, extraterrestrials, and even the UK wildman and some strange cryptids as well that are reported in and around the UK. I've always made it very clear with you guys, I've always been very openly honest that I've never had a UFO experience. This is something that I've always wanted to see for myself, but I've never actually had my own UFO experience. Well, that recently changed. A few days ago, me and my brother went out to Bempton Cliffs. Now, Bempton Cliffs is a very notorious hotspot for UFO sightings. For all you that know of Paul Sinclair's work, great guy, creates a great series of books called Truth Proof Books. He operates and works in and around Bempton Cliffs, dealing with some of these strange phenomena. So that's where we headed. Me and my brother, we jumped in his van, we headed to Bempton Cliffs in the hopes of seeing anything at all that could be considered strange and unexplainable. So we get to Bempton Cliffs, we spent a few hours there, maybe 3 or 4 hours, something like that. This was kind of evening time, so it was getting dark, but not fully dark just yet. There was a lot of tourists still there because this is a popular spot for the puffins on the cliff face. They come there during breeding season, and a lot of tourists do flood there to see the puffins. So there was still a lot of people there. It wasn't fully dark, and it's a beautiful area, absolutely stunning scenery, and it looks like something straight out of a David Attenborough documentary. You've got all these birds on the cliff face, the noises, unbelievable of all these birds chattering away, and yeah, you're looking out to sea with a beautiful sunset coming down. It's absolutely stunning scenery, and we just pulled up a chair, we're talking away, we're trying to keep our eyes peeled for anything strange on that coastline. After a few hours of not seeing anything much, we decided that we'd jump in the van and head to another place called Flamborough Head, which is just down the coastline a bit further away, only about 15-20 minutes I think. And yeah, we went to Flamborough Head and did the same. Got out of the van, walked down a track towards the cliff face and set up the chairs there, looking out to sea, talking away. I just want to add as well that on the way down to the cliff face at Flamborough Head, we passed a couple, and we'd been passing people all day, but this couple had said to us, "Oh, what is it you're filming, if you don't mind me asking?" So my brother, anticipating that I was going to say, "Oh, we're out here looking for UFOs and aliens," must have felt a bit embarrassed, and he disappeared. But screw it, I just said, "Look, I film, I come to these places, there's a lot of reports coming from these areas of strange lights in the skies and other weird phenomena, so I basically run a YouTube channel that tries to get out to these areas and talk about those things in depth." And she loved it. She absolutely loved it. I know you should never do this, but looking at her, I would have assumed that she would have scoffed at me and thought I was some kind of tinfoil hat wearing lunatic, but she didn't. She was quite the opposite. In fact, she was really into all this kind of stuff. So if you are watching this, it was great meeting you, and I had such a great time chatting away with you and the guy that you was with, because we shared a lot of like-minded opinions about these things. Anyway, not to sidetrack. We get to Flamborough Head, we set up the chairs, and we're looking out to sea. Nothing much happens, and it's now becoming dark. Not fully dark, but it's getting that way. And I said to my brother, right, I'm going to start wrapping this video up. What I'll do is I'll start trying to do a little section where I talk about how people here might be getting confused, because there is a great big lighthouse just in the distance behind us, and when nightfall does happen here, you've got all these different contrasted colours, a lot of dark greys, a lot of dark blacks, followed by the occasional thing being illuminated from the lighthouse. Now that contrast could be throwing people off and making them think they see flashing lights and different weird things in and around that area. So that's what I was doing. I was talking about that, trying to explain away some of these sightings. Then all of a sudden, my brother said, "Whoa, what was that? Did you see that?" So I'm walking with my head down like this, looking back at the footage that I've just recorded. And as I look up, when he said that, I saw the tail end of an orange light flashing out, like blinking out. So I only caught the back end of it. So I was like, yeah, I think I did see something there. What was that? He was like, keep watching, keep watching. So we're looking up at the sky, and I see these two enormous flashing orange lights, like orangey red flashing lights. And they blinked on, and then they moved a bit across the sky this way, and they blinked on again. And so now I'm thinking, okay, it's gonna now blink on here. This could be a plane. Logically, looking back now, it was not a plane. It was massive, too big to be a plane. and it just doesn't make any sense. But that's what I was expecting. I'd seen it blink here, it disappeared, saw it blink here, disappeared. Now I'm thinking it's going to blink here. It didn't. It came back here and blinked here again. But I'm thinking, what the hell? Is that a drone? Way too big to be a drone. Absolutely no sound at all looking back. And then it came here again and blinked. And then it went a bit further out this way, blinked here, and then all of a sudden blinked, and shot out to sea roughly about our 1 o'clock position. And I'm estimating that it was out at sea about 20-30 miles within a fraction of a second. The speed that that thing flew out to sea at was incredible. Any man-made object moving that fast would have broke the sound barrier 100%. I heard no noise at all. At this point, me and my brother are like, whoa, what the hell? What is that? That's crazy. And we're both just absolutely flipping out over what we've just seen, because now it's kind of throwing all those preconceived ideas of a plane, drone, lantern, etc. in the bin. What that just did is not conventional to any man-made craft that we know of, without making a sound as well, and breaking the sound barrier just is phenomenal. So we watched this thing fly out to sea. Like I said, it's about 20-30 miles out to sea now in a fraction of a second, and it blinks again one more time out at sea and then disappears completely, just completely blinks out. I want to add that the cloud cover at this point was minimal. There was hardly any cloud at all for this thing to disappear behind or into, out at sea. A second or two later, this all happened very fast, a second or two later, a fighter plane out of nowhere screeches above our heads, heading out towards sea. We've not heard a plane, not a commercial plane, a fighter plane, anything all day. But as we've just seen this thing blink out at sea, now a fighter plane is screeching above our heads, heading in that direction. A few moments later, the sound of the engines on that fighter plane die out. We're now stood in silence again. And if you imagine we saw this craft out at sea at our 11 o'clock, a moment or two later, there's a low hanging cloud. It's a dark, stormy looking cloud. It's only small, directly above us. This orange craft that we just saw 20-30 miles disappear out at sea is now emerging eerily above our heads out from this cloud. We absolutely freaked out at this point and was like, what the hell is going on? And looking back now and trying to piece together this puzzle of what happened and what unfolded in front of us, I'm convinced that that craft, whatever it was, knew that it had been picked up on radar, and it was acting frantically, almost like it was in panic mode to escape. And that's why it went this way, came back on itself, and then eventually shot out to sea, disappeared, and then re-emerged out from this dark cloud just above our heads. It blinked out and reappeared that many times in the sky and reappeared in different locations that you would swear there was multiple craft. That's how fast it did it, because 1 minute it would be over here, you'd be watching it, it'd blink out, gone, and you'd be looking in the line or the direction it was going in, expecting to see it there again, but all of a sudden it's over here, and you're thinking, what is going on? What is happening here? And the whole time this happened, like I said, no sound whatsoever. I have no idea what that was. We spoke about this on the way home. In fact, that's all we did. We spoke about this all the way home, about what this could have been. Our minds were still blown. We're still excited and adrenaline fueled from what we've just seen. And I said it, when I saw the lights blink on, there was definitely a shape, a solid structure that was illuminated by these lights. And the shape that I said was like a stick. It almost looked like a really thin stick with lights up and down it. Now my brother called it a long, thin bread roll, which is very similar to a stick, I suppose. The shape is still there. And yeah, unbelievable. So I always said to you guys, if I ever do experience a UFO, I would share that with you here on the channel, and that's what I'm doing. I have no explanation for what we saw. I just know that that was the best example of a UFO sighting that I'm possibly ever going to get, because it moved with no sound. It moved at such a rate that anything man-made should have caused a sonic boom. It reappeared, disappeared, and there was a fighter plane there chasing it out to sea. I don't know what that was, honestly. I've got the audio. I will post the audio now so you guys can hear that, and I'm sure that you'll pick up in that audio that my brother's really excited, and I just want to add as well that he is skeptical, so to get him excited like that is a big feat. Me, I'm a bit more reserved. I'm trying to logically think about what this could be. I don't want to jump to conclusions, so I'm trying to piece together in my head what it could be. But there's moments in there as well that I'm just completely stumped. And even now, I'm sticking to that was a UFO, because I couldn't identify it. I have no idea. I'm sorry that I couldn't get it on video, guys, because like I said, it is really dark out there on the cliffs, and this iPhone just isn't capable of dealing with such low light conditions. So I am looking at getting some kind of night vision at some point and heading back out there to try and pick up what it was that I saw, because now I'm hooked. And yeah, absolutely amazing experience. I wish I could have got it on camera, I really do. And you guys have only got my word for this, but I would never bullshit like that. This is what we saw, and here's the audio, so you guys enjoy that. I'll try and put some pictures from the internet of anything that I found that may look similar. Right, I did record a bit of that audio at the start. I might throw that in, because it'll strengthen what we're about to say. But guys, you know me, I'm not one to shit. I'm not one to shit you guys, fake anything. As we was walking up this track, we was literally just talking about leaving and coming back here and different things of that nature. But my brother said, "Oh, look, what's this light over here? What's that?" And I kind of caught the back end of it. And then all of a sudden, was it 3 lights? It was like 3 yellow lights. Yeah. Don't shine that torch too bright, man, because you're messing my night vision up. But there was like 3 bright orb lights, and I'm not kidding you when I say this, that covered, I'm speechless, like covered a vast distance.
It shot out to sea and it came back within a split second.
That's right, it did. These lights, at first I was thinking, that's a plane, you've seen a plane, but the more I looked at it, the more I thought, this is right, this is not normal. The speed for a start that it was moving was incredible. It covered a huge distance, it did a U-turn and came back on itself. There was no noise, I didn't hear no plane or fighter plane or anything. It wasn't strobe lights, this thing, I mean, there's no other way to explain it than that.
Where it went, it came out of a different location over there.
Yeah, so if you imagine we're looking at this thing out to sea now, at say like 11 o'clock, it came out again without any sign of it moving to this new location at 3 o'clock. And we haven't seen it again since, but that was definitely... We were just literally saying about how easy it would be.
There.
Where?
There. Oh mate,
Where
that is
it?
rapid.
What is that?
Look at the speed.
I'm trying to get a shape of it, but there's definitely more than one light there moving, but... We was just saying about how easy it is for people out here, and we were saying, oh, I can imagine people would get disorientated and misidentify. Well, there's no misidentifying that. That is weird. The U-turn, when it came back on itself and appeared again in a different location, there was too much sky to have covered in that distance, in that short time.
But again, why is that fighter jet up there now?
That's a great point.
From behind us all of a sudden.
That's a great point. As you can hear, I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a fighter plane now above us. As we've seen these lights off in a different direction, so have they seen something on their radar? I couldn't even put a name to what that is. It's gone now, isn't it?
Yeah, but it moves just so fast.
I wish we had a camera, you know, capable of picking that up, because what we're seeing here is probably the best UFO.
You know what, I'm a skeptic, I would not.
I've never seen a UFO, and I always make that very clear on this channel, is I've never seen a UFO, and I've always said I wish I could see one. Well, now, tonight, I think I can quite safely say that I have seen a UFO, because I have no explanation as to what that is. And if we go for the true definition of an unidentified flying object, that is exactly what we've just seen, because it wasn't a drone, it wasn't Chinese lanterns, it wasn't... The speed of it was insane, and the way it moved. It's just very coincidental that people see these strange lights, these strange UFO orb-looking lights. We then hear a fighter plane, which we've not heard all day being here. And here we are in a hotspot for these types of things. That was weird.
I'm blown away.
I am as well. That was really, really weird. The thing is now, I can't stop looking at the sky. I'm just expecting it to come out somewhere else. Because literally it would vanish in one part of the sky, and then a huge distance away.
What is the speed of how it gets from A to B?
It would appear out of a dark... It came out of a dark cloud.
Yeah.
When it reappeared. Absolutely fascinating, but I thought I would
This is
document
one of them
that.
things though, where people are probably watching this thinking, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
This is genuine.
I mean, I'm safe in saying this, guys, that you are quite sceptical.
Yeah, I'm sceptical.
And so for you to have seen this and be blown away as well, I'm trying to be logical. I'm trying to think of what this could be. And I've gone through the list of known things that I think it could be, and it doesn't match any of them. So I have no idea what we've just seen, guys, but fascinating. And now I can't stop looking at the sky because I want to see that again. There's no chance we could have caught that, mate. It was too dark. This camera's not gonna pick that up at all. Absolutely amazing. I'm literally just amazed right now at what that could have been. It's like you said though, guys, right? It's the speed.
Oh, it's phenomenal. It was there. It shot off at such a high speed, came back on itself, and then ended up out at sea.
Well, when you first saw it and it was moving at speed, I was thinking, let's just see if it keeps going in that direction and keeps flashing because it could be a plane. But the minute it came back on itself at that speed and then shot out to sea and was out at sea, miles out to sea, within the blink of an eye.
Yeah.
But then what really got me, what really sold me, is that we're looking in the direction we last saw it out at sea. And off to our right was a really thick, dark cloud, literally the only dark cloud in the sky at the time. And it appeared from that dark cloud in a completely brand new location, miles from where we'd last seen it, with no noise.
The distance.
I didn't see it go there. I didn't see it go into that cloud. This cloud was, that's all right. We was looking at it. So if you say the cloud was at like 3 o'clock to where we was looking, the last time we saw it was like at what, 10 or 11?
Yeah.
I don't know how it got to 3 o'clock in that cloud. It emerged from a dark cloud.
The distance it covered at the speed it arrived is phenomenal. I've never.
And then
it made no noise. But another thing to note is we've been around here for hours, yeah?
Yeah.
It's now about 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
We've not heard one plane. We see this.
And a fighter plane.
Yeah. We see this thing, and then all of a sudden a fighter plane arrives.
Yeah, no, I'm baffled, mate. Honestly, I really am. And what's even more weird now is there's kind of like a really hazy fog setting in. Obviously, that's going to come in off the sea, but it's just adding to this whole experience. Because what we've just seen, I mean, I don't want to leave. You said yourself, you don't want to leave.
We're cold, we're wet, we're just like,
yeah,
I want to see it again.
At one point, I mean, we were just saying, weren't we, guys? It's very hard to explain what we've seen. I mean, I can tell you that there was a shape to it and there was lights, but if you ask me what shape it was, it's very difficult, and I'm not sure why to explain what we've just seen.
It's unexplainable.
It really is. I don't think we'll ever see anything like that again unless we come back.
We've been studying here now for about 45 minutes trying to find out what it could be.
Yeah.
But you can't explain what we've just witnessed.
And we've not
And
seen
I'm the
it.
biggest sceptic there is.
Yeah, no, that was weird, mate. I'm stumped. It's gone. Wherever it is, it's gone.
What gets me is the fire jet.
Yeah.
Like it just appeared at the same time. And
Yeah, it did, exactly. Coincidental. I mean, that's a
And we haven't
commercial
heard one
thing.
all night.
That's right. I'll tell you what baffled me is that it used the cloud for cover.
Yeah.
As if it knew that it had been picked up on radar and a fighter plane was inbound. Because
It's deceiving, right, how far it is when you're looking out to sea.
Yeah.
But I would say 20 mile plus.
Yeah, oh, easy.
And then in a blink of an eye, it's coming out of the black cloud to our right.
Yeah. Moments later,
Yeah.
a fighter plane arrives. It was almost like this thing had known it had been detected on radar and tried to use the cloud as cover. Absolutely fascinating. I can't explain to you what we saw, guys. I just know that that's nothing I've seen before, and I'm gonna go as far as saying confidently that was not man-made.
Not at that speed.
Not at that speed.
With no sound. No
Exactly. Well, I was just, I'm
sound. I
stumped.
want to stay, but
I want to stay, but it's getting late. I'm soaked, and I keep thinking I'm seeing it again, but I'm desperate to see it again. I'd love to be able to get a clear view of what that was.
What gets me is when I first seen it, and it shot off, and it came back on itself within a blink of an eye. That
when it did
is
that,
not man-made.
No, when it did that U-turn and came back on itself at that speed, it was almost like, I don't know, it was just so bizarre to see that, because it's not what you're used to seeing with commercial airlines or fighter planes. They don't just turn around like that on a dime.
Yeah.
and then end up miles back in the opposite direction. That was insane. And then it shot off out to sea, and it, like Gaz just said there, it must have been about 20 mile out to sea. And all of a sudden, as we're looking in that direction, bam, off to our right, it emerges from a dark, thick cloud. And then moments later, a fighter plane comes. Guys, listen, this is a one-off experience. I've no doubt that to experience like something like this again is going to be few and far between. I'm not sure.
I know that people watching this, right, might think, oh yeah, it's the first visit to Bempton and all that, they've seen something. No,
well, that's what I'm saying, is that it's going to be unbelievable that we've come here. Do you know what I mean? Because it's a hotspot. I mean, me and you, if we said tonight, at the start of tonight, do you think we'll see something? I'm sure that we would have both said definitely not. I mean,
no, the chances of that, no chance.
Wow. That's all I can say at this point. It's just wow. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I think we should call it a night though now, maybe, because cloud is setting in and
it's getting cold, isn't it? Raining.
Well, I'm glad that we've shared that experience together, because if I was here on my own, I mean, who would have believed that? Who would have believed that?
I can't explain it. I really can't.